Country people dem Achowe salute. As na sabi and do one undaunted pidgin news, place wey tori no dey hide, and dat so. Shake shake no dey. Na me tori pikin Su aka talk am all. I don come again, make we match fire. Country people na come back fine. Tori for today na dat so. Ghost town palava, we go enter for ghost town palava how e pass fine inside Ambazonia. Republic no fit fix Ambazonia. Hot wey dem know na for scatter am. We go see am how after 62 years dem for independence, how our bridge dem e dey for dat side for country. Amnesty International the vex for the killing for Guzan. All the killing wey ADF and B dem for Republic dem dey do am inside we country. Republic aeroplane e don fail people dem for dat side for Maroua. My country people, any side una dey, any place wey she don, know say na tori pikin dey here for undaunted pidgin news, and I go come and I go bring the tori in the proper kind of way. I dey come. Happy Country Sunday, my country people. Today na Monday, the number 9 day for October, and another Country Sunday for home front. Sika we country people, dem and outside e be waka fine. The country people dem decide say personal they go follow am and they go dey do their activities dem so that they go see how Country Sunday go waka fine. Work e no go dey. For example, wey they decide say they go dey do am, go dey keep country clean. Masa Kimbi again still get tori for tell we how the Country Sunday e pass for home front. Masa Kimbi.
My country people them. Today we na the number 9 day for this month. We so hold we Country Sunday normal as supposed for day. We don't lock all side, all business place them, which own government office them, they close. Let me say all side dry. For follow this we Country Sunday fine. So we Ambazonian people them. They do plenty other thing them. Where they no say they fit do am for this day. We no go bring them no problem. We Amazonian people them for some quarter them. They don't talk say this Country Sunday so them go to use them for do better thing inside their quarter. So when they clean at their quarter for say me shine. So when they open a gutter for say water they pass sweet with no problem. Some people them they use the day like a day for work body as well they do plenty sports. For stay inside Ambazonia with we people them. See as how they follow this day. They do thing them as they're supposed to do am. Na fine thing. All place dry like a bearing gown. The only thing we do work for road, now win. People pick Chief Ikelebe them. Where did they ever stand for corner road, say control. They take money for we people them. They go young where today, like all other Country Sunday them. Them say 25 so, they no go see am. Sika say all man they has, no man no they come out. Where I share for them, that I go red finish today. Me they wait to take tomorrow, or some different day, before they fit start back their chief. Today so, they go let us sleep with the no chop. Hungry good dry that leaves them fine. But na the lad that we don't choose them, may the contrary the suffer. As also suffer, they go to see am. Na me wakaman kimbi, and I the talk so, na for home front, for Undaunted PG News.
Thank you, Master Kimbi. So far for inside Ambazonia no be small thing, country people. Country people una go see something. I say wait we don do Republic, we no know. If Republic no go, how we wan manage fix we country? No be wicked dis. Or how man say after 62 years dem for independent, country still dey so. Master Kimbi go open with tori wey I go wan say me we see am and how e happen for that side of the country. Master Kimbi, me we hear you.
My country people them, Tory people them, we dey ever talk plenty matter them. Under politics, they really cry how Ambazonia they suffer inside the Republic people they hand them. Let me say these people they start cry plenty so after we they don't see some video as we work online for us side. We people then they cross with the die body on top some wonderful kind rope them. We they run tight time, they call and say breach. I don't really understand whether this one so narrow for monkey or narrow for people them. Because the one they letting way na monkey go the whole am the pass. My country people them, when I look at how we did rope them hang for air, they call the one say breach. Ha! Then if you work out this die body so on top this road too, the mouth call inside cover start vex. Chai, my people them. Let me say, na so these Republic people them want to move suffer with them. Ah, shit, no be so no be so. We no get for live na the kind monkey life. Escape people them na monkey them, my people them. We no be monkey them no. We scat talk lie. My country people them. Let me say, no road safe day. Where the fit cross with something, go down for the other side. Now so until the rope them, we people get to pass. Let me say, show say, man get to turn a Spider-Man if we can walk a person for the village. Hey boy, no be juju this. Man go yeah bad inside country. When he sit there alive, still can't die the yeah bad too. Sir, this one just weak me. My country people them. As we Undaunted waka people there for ground, gather with Turi. We the same say plenty people there for this village. They run the bury that people there now for outside village. Sika say, money where go pay 'em. For say me they carry something. Like he did die man in body so. For cross to town the bridge, now plenty money. No be small money. Chaba in the public. Wonderful thing. And so when I so want to move so far, my country people them. Let me say sure say for cross the bridge. You get to go some special kind school for learn how to cross them. Because no be small thing. See as how they bridge it dance. They bridge it dance people, then need to dance on top. All thing you the dance na dance. Let me say any small mistake so chwa. My you that inside water. My country people them. Let me say sure say the Republic Nova say it important for say me they make better bridge them for inside Ambazonia. Or say me they make better road them. They know they do nothing like better infrastructure them inside Ambazonia. And so bad thing in the happen inside Ambazonia because of the kind bad infrastructure them, we'll get them. Let me say people then they really suffer plenty. Ambazonia no get some better than Bafi. Say na the Republic don't put them. No better thing so where the Republic don't do inside Ambazonia. Who feel really she don't talk say yes. Na better thing this. Now wow my people them. Now wow they want a serious matter. DB Turi. Na me wakaman kimbi and at the talk so na for home front for Undaunted PG News.
Yes, Master Kimbi, whether man go turn as Spider-Man o, we no know. Again, for inside Tori, killing inside Ambazonia, it don't too much. That means say the killing for inside Ambazonia, it don't over plenty. So therefore, the number 6 day for inside this very month, human rights people them, but then they call and say Amnesty International don't come out can broke Tori say for social media, say they don't like the killing the way it happen for that side for country. That 2 poor people the way they kill them for that side for Market Square for Guzan inside Patibo LGA, it worry them. Master Kimbi still get Tori for open and for we for this palaver and country people are going to hear and fine. Master Kimbi, me we hear you.
My country people them, for the number 6 day for this month, human rights group where they call and say Amnesty International put some Tori for their online site. Say them not like as well and key 2 civilian them for Guzan Market Square for inside Batibo LGA for Momo County for the number 4 day for this month. Them say they not like this action where AGF would see the Republic Ekelebe them join Duam. This kind of bad action so where this non-government people then Duam, them not get to go where they never punish them, give them their own share for thing where they do and for people them. This kind of bad action so not just one of another kind torture them where people them for inside village them for Ambazonia they disarm for inside South Republic Ihan. And this Republic people them they also try for force and say me Ambazonia and them here for them. Now so West and Central Africa, a director for Amnesty International Samira Daud talk am. Amnesty International to talk am say, me columna and gomna, no lead this kind thing. Me job pass so, where they never do correct justice. Amnesty International to talk am say, me chair people them for the public, do investigate for all this kind bad thing them, where the public ekelebe with the ATF people them. And say me they do all kinds of way if you do am. For say me this kind, me they know they happen again. For the number 5 day for this month, for inside press story, when a columnia SDO for Momo County sign am, he be the talk how way, he no like am, as where the killings they happen. And he no want to say, me continue. Say me they stop am. He be the talk so, where true, use accept sabi am. Say columnia B, they work with AGF, and columnia gomna, they promote and need to support them, and accept them do this kind act so. But true we all know am say, pretend that them, na evil do them. Na mi wakaman kimbi.
Thank you, Wakaman Kimbi. We go march fara for Tori. Airline where dem dey call and say Cameco, wey be first for inside Cameroon, where dem dey call and say Cameroon Airlines, na im be the carry Cameroon flag for Republic country. My country people dem, Cameco don fail passenger dem for that side from our agency. Na their work, na so dem sabi. After wey dis passenger dem don pay plenty money for aeroplane ticket dem, for waka for inside plane, na trouble. For comot that side from our sotey enter for inside Yaounde, plane no be dey. Na only so, after wey dis people dem don shino for that place for plenty hour dem inside Marwa airport, wey big people dem for that airport, dem send na all 70-seater say make am carry dis people dem for that side, go with am for go with dem for that side for Garoua. After dis people dem don be for dey stay, e don stay, dem don manage to take the green for enter that motor, dem reach for that side for Garoua, but the pilot too, he comot say he no go fit, he talk go up, he talk calm down, say he no go fit still carry dem again. Sep after wey dis big people dem don beg dis pilot, talk all kind talk, the pilot still talk say weather no dey fine. And again, he no fit waka with the people dem for dis plenty cargo wey dey carry am. So, time dey go, the pilot still can talk again say he no go fit. After wey dis people dem don pay ticket, my country people, how we go do? So now, so the people dem, they go find their own way for continue their waka, go back for Marwa. That means say, the airline, no be say work better money, or na say na wetin dey happen. They dey so owe debt dem. We public no fit do some fine things, so me remain. Airport dem no dey see am. Now for carry people na another problem. Plenty for their waka plane dem, and for different motor agency dem, if they ever get trouble with the people, suffer their passenger dem anyhow. Country people, for inside this palava now, na for dey wa tori jam. Until we meet up again, my country people, I go give chance for we come be where they go cut broke grammar, where they cut broke tori for una, for the grammar kind of style, Oni and star. I don't finish, una stay fine.
See that you can if I know that can. Stylish, cool, A-list. See that you can if I know that can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be maybe a great pillar of your country, or to be a change maker of the world, then I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears. For what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like for however humble is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh my sister, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can.
Stylish, cool.
See that you can if another can.
Stylish, cool, A-list.
See that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be maybe a great pillar of your country, or to be a change maker of the world, then I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears. For what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like a fool. However, it is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh my sister, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can.
Stylish.
Forgotten voices.
Forgotten voices.
Forgotten voices.
Forgotten
Voices. Forgotten voices.
Forgotten voices.
The humanitarian crisis in southern Cameroons.
The Norwegian Refugee Council has identified the ongoing war between the Cameroons as one of the most neglected crises in the world. Today, we examine the heartbreaking story of the humanitarian crisis faced since 2006 by my people, the people of the southern Cameroons, also known as Ambazonia. At the look of things, you can see the fingerprints of France and Britain on the maneuvers.
To understand the root cause of this conflict, the war, we must go back to the failed decolonization by the United Nations, followed by annexation and recolonization by the French Republic of Cameroon, an unfortunate reality in modern day history, or should we say an international conspiracy against the people of southern Cameroon.
The UN General Assembly Resolution 1608, Article 15, explains the historicity and the legality of our quest in very clear terms. However, the proximate or immediate cause of the conflict began in September and October of 2016. The lawyers and teachers in southern Cameroon protested against the government of Cameroon's decision to use civil law instead of common law in Anglophone territory, and the employment of the French-speaking teachers who can hardly speak English, let alone teach other subjects besides French language in Anglo-Saxon schools.
Amnesty International has urged authorities in Cameroon to investigate the deaths of at least 4 people in clashes between security agencies and protesters in the northwestern town of Bamenda. 2 protesters were killed and 10 others were wounded on Friday in Cameroon's northwest region, in the latest bout of violence in the English-speaking region of the mostly francophone country.
Shooting, flogging, some of them raping others.
Instead of addressing the issues raised by the protests, the government responded with arrest and torture, leading to the widespread resistance.
The restoration movement momentum, culminating in the establishment of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia.
On October 1st, 2017, the people of the southern Cameroons declared the restoration of their independence, marking the beginning of the liberation movement.
Since 2017, the people of southern Cameroons have endured immense suffering. Over 45,000 lives have been lost, and more than 400 villages have been razed to the ground.
They're among an estimated 40,000 Anglophone refugees registered on Nigerian soil who have walked sometimes for days.
Today, over 1.5 million Southern Cameroonian refugees seek safety and shelter, with the majority finding refuge in neighboring Nigeria. Meanwhile, more than 1 million are internally displaced within their own homeland.
over 1,500 prisoners of conscience languish in jails without due process, their voices silenced or muted by an oppressive regime.
So it happened now also for petrol stations.
More than 500 cases of rape have been reported, with many going unreported. The scars of this horrifying violence run deep within the community.
Thousands of Southern Cameroonian men, women, and children bear the physical and emotional scars of war, enduring permanent injuries and trauma.
Since the onset of the war, thousands of children and youth have been reported missing, further amplifying the anguish faced by families torn apart.
Over 20 massacres have occurred, leaving behind numerous documented and unknown mass graves, casting a dark shadow over the region's future.
The atrocities perpetrated by the Republic of Cameroon in the southern Cameroons must not be forgotten. We must shed light on the untold stories, justice, and international recognition.
Thank you for joining us today and listening to the story of a people abandoned by the international community. Our fight for international recognition and self-governance continues. For more information and to support our cause, visit www.ambazoniagenocidellibrary.com.
See that you can if another can.
Stylish, cool, A-list.
See that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be maybe a great pillar of your country, or to be a change maker of the world, then I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears. For what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like a fool. For however humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh my sister, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can live another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can live another can.
Stylish, cool.
Good evening and welcome to Undaunted, bringing into the news untold stories. I am Star Smart. Let's begin. The level of infrastructural development in the Federal Republic of Amazonia is regrettably bad, given that La Republic had the administration of all the institutions within the Unholy Union of 1961 with former British Southern Cameroon's Amazonia. She had the mandate to bring equal infrastructure development to Amazonia, but of course did not within the marginalization tendency and the desire to make Amazonia continually dependent on La Republic. La Republic denied infrastructural development to the peoples of Amazonia. For Amazonia to put back the remnants together and look like a people in the 21st century, in terms of infrastructure, amongst other things, La Republic has to keep its hands off the affairs of Amazonia and its sovereign people and pack out of its territorial region. Well, which is why after the Independence Day global celebration and Awareness Day, the peoples of Amazonia have once again respected the lockdown of today in a bid to continue the announcement of the unwanted presence of La Republic in the territory of Amazonia. What are the updates and recent happenings in Amazonia and around the globe? Well, we'll find out in the full briefings of Undaunted tonight, just after the prime headlines.
Here are the prime headlines for tonight. Amazonians observe another ghost town today. This is coming after the independence celebration. Also tonight, Amnesty International condemns the ADF's Big Zan killings. I'm sure that killing you heard in our reports last week. Family goes through pains in transporting cubs through a hanging bridge just because there are no roads in Amazonia. Now the question is, for how long will Amazonians continue to suffer? Co disappoints passengers at the Marua port due to lack of planes. How is that even possible? Well, on the foreign scene, hundreds of Israelis seek refuge in Cyprus. Now let's get the news in detail. Ghost Town was instituted in 2017 and it was unanimously accepted by Ambazonians to make Ambazonia very easy for themselves. Since then, a lot of La Republic de Cameroon colonial authorities have fought tooth and nail to kill the Mondego spirit and the people of Amazonia. To no avail, all these fights is because La Republic de Cameroon is losing a lot of cash when activities are grounded on Mondays. Today, the 9th of October 2023, is Monday and another ghost town, also known as Mami Water Ghost Town in Amazonia. It means that all commercial and transportation be grounded. Is this not clear enough for La Republic de Cameroon to see that the entire people of Amazonia want to be free from the colonial hands of La Republic de Cameroon? Welcome back from the Independence Day celebration. It is another Monday. Let's begin here. How are you doing, sir?
Well, very well, Oni. Good evening, Amazonians. Today, Monday, October 9th, 2023, is another ghost town in Amazonia. A ghost town is respected like any other ghost towns in Amazonia. To give this day the respect that it deserves, the peoples of Amazonia have opted for diverse activities to keep themselves occupied today. The Amazonian people have chosen in some quarters to consecrate Mondays for developmental purposes like cleaning and opening water runways. To others, it is a day for recreational activities like keeping fit. Many have engaged in sporting groups and participated in these groups. Living in Amazonia amongst the people of Amazonia is indeed interesting. While the coffers of the colonial La Republic government are deprived of any France CFA. Given that La Republic makes a lot of money from commercial taxi drivers, Monday is really a bad day for the colonial La Republic government police officers who makes a living from extorting from drivers. Taxis today are grounded.
Moving on, no roads in Amazonia continues to be a major problem. The level of infrastructure development in the Federal Republic of Amazonia is regrettably bad, given that La Republic de Cameroon had the administration of all the institutions within the Unholy Union of 1961 with former British Southern Cameroons. She had the mandate to bring equal infrastructural development to Amazonia. But within the marginalization tendency and the desire to make Amazonia independent, La Republic denied infrastructural development to the people of Amazonia. When compared the level of infrastructural development in the Federal Republic of Amazonia as compared to other 8 colonial regions of La Republic de Cameroon, one will only do nothing but weep for the number of wasted years Amazonia have shared with colonial La Republic de Cameroon.
Well, for Amazonians to put back the remnants together and look like a people in this century, the 21st century, in terms of infrastructure and everything else, La Republic has to take its hands off the affairs of Amazonia and the people of Amazonia. La Republic has to leave Amazonia's territory. There is a video in circulation about the pains a family suffered in transporting the casket of their loved ones. Well, through a handed bridge in a village of the Atlantic zone, you can see these people try to transport this dead person in the coffin. And it's sad that the same zone of origin of the present in-house slave prime minister of La Republique.
The question remains, why is it that there is no motorable road linking this village at the stage of technological advancement? Well, Gab Ellison will try to tell us more.
Of Amazonia, with the untold suffering the colonial LRC government subjected them to. This comes after a video in circulation of the pain with which some young men went through to get a casket from one bank of the river to the other. The young men had no option but to use the aging hanging bridge made of ropes as the transportation route for the casket. It almost cost these energetic and determined young men a complete day to achieve this peculiar task. From reports gathered by Undaunted, many locals of this area have buried their loved ones out of their village residence because they were unable to meet the exorbitant transportation fare imposed by luggage transporters over the hanging bridge. Going across the bridge is made difficult because of the nature of the bridge, the dangling nature of the bridge, and coupled with the fact that moving across is by stepping on ropes, made it a hard knock to crack going over. Amazonia is not only neglected by colonial LRC government only in terms of road infrastructure. A case in point in this absence of a football field in the northern zone of Amazonia. The fact that it is the only region in the Cameroons without a training pitch, let alone a football field. The list of such gross marginalization is long. Gab Ellison reporting from Undaunted, ABC Amba News.
And moving on, the human rights group Amnesty International has in a report published on its site just on Friday, October 6, 2023, condemned the execution of 2 civilians at the Guzang Market Square in Batibo local government area, Momo County, on October 4th by the ADF working in hand with the occupier La Republique's BIR. Well, a heinous act happening under the watchful eyes of the population with the colonial BIR camp located close to the site of the incident. The non-governmental organization said unacceptable crime should not go unpunished. This heinous crime is yet another manifestation of the daily horror experienced by the inhabitants of the towns and villages in the southern Cameroon's Amazonia, over which annexationist La Republique forces are trying to impose their control, noted the Western Central African Director of Amnesty International, Samira Daud.
Amnesty International indicated that its evidence lab keenly verified the video that went viral on social media because responding to the unlawful killings, it added the Amazonian Governing Council linked to the Amazonian Defense Force armed group claimed responsibility for the Guzang incident. Amnesty International also urged Colonial Yaoundé government not to allow the page of the incident to be turned without justice done. Authorities in La Republique must immediately take steps to investigate all allegations of human rights abuses committed by both state forces and armed ADF groups and prevent more abuses from happening. This is what the group said. In a press release signed on the 5th of October 2023, the Colonial La Republique de Cameroon SDO for Momo County condemned the killings, even though he is aware that the colonial bees working with the ADF where their genocidal Yaoundé government has been protecting and sponsoring are the ones responsible for this killing. Well, in responding to these as well, we know that Barrister Ghana also responded to this adequately over the weekend when we brought this up. But right about now, we have another respondent to this from Commandant Kenneth. He has something to say about this.
Fellow Amazonians, NSC want to talk about the incident where it happened for Guzang on the 4th of this month, October 2023, where the ADF under Ayabacho Lucas, they be murdered 2 civilians for Guzang Market Square in plain daylight. We communication secretary, we don't come out and we talk against this. We condemn the act and we will distance ourselves from that, but make the ANSC act a little bit to that. Now, the first question we want to ask now, say the ADF and Lucas Ayabacho, they will give these particular people the chance for explain themselves. That the question that we ask them first of all, because whenever we see ARFs where they fight under His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, whenever they hold any black leg, at least they did talk to the black leg, it confess, it admit to the crimes. Before we think of the punishment, we'll go administer them for ye. If not a case where we not feel rehabilitated again, all Amazonians they see say for this particular case, they not be give these people a chance, not even 1 second to prove themselves. That's whether the allegations say they be black legs, they be legit or not. At least if they be fit get the time for can publicly execute them, at least they for fit take the time for hear them out before they want carry out any further action. Make a reiterate here again, say the ARF under your interim government will be headed by His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako. Before they want come out with any black leg, they don't make sure so they don't invest thoroughly. And when they bring it on camera, when they hear how everybody they follow up the interview, how they interview the person, and it admit to the crime where they don't commit. But for the case for Hanson D and Cletus Aburo, where the AGF and Ayabacho they be murder them for Guzang, they not give them that chance. We not be hear anything from them. Even at the point where they be murder them, we be see and say Aburo be take a finger for up. The one try for talk something, but they be shoot the point blank, kill him on the spot. The question where each and every Amazonian they ask him, I say the ADF for Guzang, how many La Republic terrorist elements when I don't kill them for the past 5 years, when I come out, answer that one for us, for the Amazonian people. If when I talk say Hanson D and Cletus Aburo, they be been a black legs. When I talk how many of una missions, what when I be plan them, when I want to execute them, and then these people then jeopardize those missions. The NSC want to make all Amazonians understand. May they understand very well, say, AGF and Ayabacho Lucas said he work now for the La Republic government. When I remember the case for the journalists where they be kill him for Insight Mezam. Now, who they be admit to that? The ADF. And at the same time, La Republic become out for can protect any protest. For can make sure that make with people not protest against that after the ADF, they be admit to killing that particular journalist. And yeah, the next one, Regina Mundi. They be take Regina Mundi all the way from Mezam. And they drive it to Guzang through numerous La Republic checkpoints. Nobody never raise a finger. We not understand why that one be happen. Now because inside the elements for the ADF, be then they inside terrorist La Republic, be then they inside. When they leave La Republic, the first place when they remove their uniform, then they go now with big number. When they stay with big number, from there they infiltrate other ranks like ADF fighters where they don't dare for inside the struggle. Where in the real sense, now be elements where they leave La Republic, they don't can join. Oh, the operation where they abduct Regina Mundi, it be now something where be now an internal matter between the bees where they dare for inside ADF camp and their terrorist colleagues. Them. That's the reason that when they feel be able to take them pass through all those the numerous checkpoints without nothing, nobody raising a finger. The reason behind that act is for fool the international community. And of course, as all we know, the terrorist regime for you, they pretend to pay some money for the ADF and for Yabacho so that they will release Regina Mundi where they no fire, no shot. The only shot when they be fire them, for signal the terrorists be there, they can shoot down in front one of the compound, them for inside for that particular area, to tell themselves to leave so that they can't take Regina Mundi. They will equally take money from Regina Mundi, in family. So all this one be a win-win for the ADF, Ayabacho, and La Republic du Cameroon. Very next one, for one of the October 1st celebrations, where they be carry them out, the ADF of Ayabacho Lucas be displayed 2 standard La Republic equipments. Make a talk. This one Hilux, and the other one be a 70 series Land Cruiser. Make a repeat here against that one standard La Republic equipment. Big number, and the others when the OSD they don't use this equipment all the time for come for Guzang market. No time, never ever be. When La Republic, the terrorism from La Republic, they don't raise their arm for shoot at them, not a time. But if we own fighters with ARFs, they get even bike inside their camp. Either the terrorists them from Yaoundé, they go burn those bikes, or they go take those bikes, put that inside their truck, transport them, carry and go jump for their families them for Yaoundé. Ambazonians, Operation Sunrise be happened sometime last year. Where we not be see this very ADF gather boys them. These boys where they be gather around, they murder all of them. And this one be happen as a collaboration between the terrorist bees where they do big number and their terrorist colleagues them where they be where Buba be sent. So make it no surprise any Ambazonian. Say at the point where they be just get for assemble those ones, they take them all out. When they come up go for control every day, the big elements they know very well. Say this or this particular ones they know they with us. So make we go out kill this particular boys. It happen every now and then for inside Momo. But the ADF they need a reporter make Ambazonians they know. As we talk as of this moment, there not be less than 20 bees where they work with that so-called big number for inside Momo. Some of them they did for the Alabukam road. Now the reason they protect that particular axis and the road be impossible to with civilians. Where they be that they use the road at will. The people the way they go from Bengui, Gi and Jikwa, now them they suffer. Big number there for Guzang and it attacks who people them who poor civilians them for they every now and then they hold them at gunpoint, make them pay them taxes. He himself the big number and they rape people, their women with their husbands right there watching. All of this now a plan where they don't plan with their so-called Ayabacho for give a bad name to the stroke. For this particular case, for these two civilians where they execute them, their only crime be been say Aburo with the cell Caillou for some of the fighters. And as it be happen, it get problem with a lady. That lady called the terrorists beat them. They come Hanson the complete on his behalf and they will let you go. This woman not still be happy. Now for they take phone, call the ADF, tell them say that they collaborate with the terrorist Republic military. They never give them a chance. They execute them in cold blood. The terrorists beat them from La Republic to Cameroon, pass the dirty job to those where they do work with Ayabacho so that make the do and forgive a bad them to the struggle. They begat innocent civilians where they go about their daily activities for the market. Say make they can witness their crimes against humanity. We need to see the ATF go against the terrorism from La Republic du Cameroon. Neither we see those terrorism from La Republic du Cameroon. They go against the ATF for Guzan. That one that because they complement one another. Now two sides of the same coin. We their agenda being for strike fear for the hearts for people so that make the turn look at we struggle with a different eye. But we go continue for the educate with people. We be equally witness the murder where Obango Heli Fungi and the terrorism from La Republic du Cameroon. They be commit them against a fighter where we don't lay down in arms. And at one point it should it look at Obango Heli like somebody like an elder brother or a pa it feels a make it go talk for it. Say this or it one can do such and such a thing. As it go that the same Obango Heli call the terrorism, they can hold that particular ex-fighter, neutralize them. This one that's still for talk for all the fighters. Say La Republic du Cameroon get an agenda for eliminate or for neutralize each and every fighter. The only thing that for fight till the end. People like Obango Heli, now agents of La Republic du Cameroon, and make all ARS need to keep their eyes on that particular agent because we not gonna let it go free. We understand, say it work with some particular agents and where they carry themselves around like fighters, but we actually they don't be contracted by agents of La Republic du Cameroon like Obango Heli. We be see the incident where it be get a personal problem. It's some 5 La Republic du Cameroon delegates where they become visit Fungi on a particular day. Because there are differences when these 5 people they go back. Obango Heli be called Blink. Blink be take them, go keep them hostage at Obango Heli orders until they be paid huge sums of money before Blink be ever one release them. Make fighters and take note here again. Say this fight now a fight where we go fight to the end. If you be don't go rest at one time, come back, come pick your arms, continue fight now the enemy. The enemy La Republic du Cameroon and France. Anybody will be don't rest. Now the time this will stand up, start the fight again all over. No, not day like DDR. Make nobody not be deceived. At least when I see what way they happen. They simply use Muna. Anybody will go DDR now for come back and hunt with brother the way they sit there in the fight. By the end of the day, La Republic du Cameroon will execute the people that they did for DDR in one way or the other. Make una take note of that. Anybody where we don't carry arms so we fight this enemy, they still be pained by the fact say this, so we don't kill their brothers, we don't kill their sisters. As they kill, or not because we want to kill them, that because they enter for territory. They kill with people. We want liberation. We simply want to make we achieve with total freedom from these terrorists where they call the Republic of Cameroon. Make we not always remember say we will not get no treaty of union with them. They don't try. They do everything try to attack us terrorists. But the international community buy them. But we did hear for Boya as they admit and say they be terrorists. So until the very one, each and every one of them leave Amazonian soil, we no go rest. This one now the spokesman for the ANC signing out today, the 9th of October 2023. Short live the revolution, long live the Federal Republic of Amazonia.
Well, you're welcome back. Our top story tonight takes us to Bui County of Amazonia, where General Tolkien Du's presence during the 1st October Independence Day commemoration has sparked certain controversy.
That's right, Star. General Tolkien Du, a prominent figure in the ongoing conflict between Amazonia and French Cameroon, was captured on camera engaging in festivities alongside the civilian population. Now, this contradicts the portrayal of him and the ARFs and the mainstream French Cameroon media. The question arises is General Tolkien Du truly, is he loved by his people?
Exactly, Oni. The media has played a significant role in shaping public opinion about General Tolkien Du and Amazon Restoration Forces. But with these recent images, viewers are left pondering whether the negative portrayal of him is accurate. We can audaciously say that General Tolkien Du is loved by the people whom he purportedly protects.
Let's take a closer look at what occurred during their October 1st Independence Day commemorations. General Tolkien Du was seen singing, dancing, and celebrating alongside civilians. What does this suggest? This suggests a strong connection and bond between the general, the ARFs, and the people he represents and protects against colonial encroachment of La République de Cameroon.
Well, it's important also to note that these celebrations took place amidst the ongoing conflict. The nation of Amazonia has been plagued by violence and clashes between the restorationists and the colonial military of the French Cameroon. General Tolkien Du's presence at the event sends a powerful message, one of unity and resilience in the face of adversity.
Absolutely. So while mainstream media and La République de Cameroon media may want to portray Tolkien Du as an unpopular figure, these images challenge that narrative. It raises questions about the accuracy of media representations and emphasizes the importance of considering alternative perspectives.
Well, additionally, these images also shed light on the ways in which people in conflict zones find moments of joy and camaraderie amidst the chaos. The celebrations during the Independence Day commemorations serve as a reminder that life continues even in turbulent times.
That's a great point. It's essential to understand that conflicts are complex and multifaceted. By reducing General Tolkien Du to a one-dimensional figure, the media risks oversimplifying the realities on the ground.
Well, in conclusion, the recent footage capturing General Tolkien Du participating in the 1st October celebrations, Independence Day celebrations, challenges preconceived notions and media narratives. It reminds us to question the accuracy of information presented to us and consider alternative viewpoints.
Well, absolutely. You see, as journalists, it is vital to maintain a balanced and objective approach to reporting. This allows the viewers to form their own conclusions based on the facts presented.
Well, let's watch this beautiful display of General Tolkien Du with his people.
It's time for traditional dances today in the face of October 2023. This is Major General Tokandu live interview. Live video, Major General Tokandu from Bui County. Celebrating alongside with his civilians. General. Look at the civilians population, proving to us that they are determined to take back their land that was seized by the Republic terrorists. Major General dancing, celebrating and enjoying alongside with his civilians. It is not easy. It's not easy today. The paper. Wow. Our Major General Tokandu, ARF Bui. Today, the 1st of October 2023, in Bui County, precisely at Kikaikom, 1st of October 2023, their civilians are well determined to take back their land that was seized by the terrorist regime of the Republic of Cameroon. We are ready to take back our land. Come rain, come sun. Today is the 1st of October 2023. This is Major General Tokandu himself, the Supreme Commander for Bui County, under His Excellency President Dr. Samuel Sako Ekome, the President of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. You can see the Major General alongside with his civilians, with his well-organized and well-trained, disciplined soldiers, happening live in Bui County, 1st of October 2023. You can see the civilians. You can see the battalion by yourself. So it is not easy. It is not easy.
Salute to the Major. Position. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will see on the side. Unity, we are most of the people who be once again. Position. Ready?
These are well-trained soldiers of Major General Tokandu. You can see by yourself. Well-trained and well-organized soldiers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Today, 1st of October 2023. This is Major General Tokandu from Bui County. Celebrating Alosi. It is not easy. Happening live. 1st of October 2023. It is not easy. We warriors, ARF, under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sako Ekomi, the President of the Federal Republic of Angola. It is not easy, as you can see. It is not easy. This is Major General Tokandu from Bui County, precisely at the icon. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Today, the 1st of October 2023, happening live in Bui County, precisely at the icon. This is the civilians being led by Major General Tokandu, enjoying with their Major General, the Supreme General for Bui County. It is not easy. Today, the 1st of October 2023, it is not easy. You can see the Major General himself enjoying alongside with his civilians.
Well, as you can see from that video, not only did we see the strength of the ARF, but we saw particularly the connection General Tokandu had with the peoples of Amazonia. You could imagine if that was a La Republique police, that would be like people scurrying around and running away because they do not even trust the La Republique police to be there and not just randomly shoot, as has been the case in several occasions. But then you see the people connecting, happy and celebrating with General Tokandu because they believe that indeed he's the one who has actually been protecting them from all the invasions of La Republique, and also he is a part of them. This is a real deal. This is some evidence. So at the end of the day, what do you believe? What you are seeing of General Tokandu, or what the media opinion? What do you believe at the end of today? Well, moving on, we have this very important report on the Cameco that disappoints passengers at the Marua port due to lack of planes. Very interesting. Well, the Colonial La Republic government, that is already a publicly known failed government in the different aspects of human endeavors, the Yaoundé regime has failed time and time again. With all the huge reserves of minerals, one could have expected to see an unacceptable level of development. But that is not the case. The Marua airport of the Colonial La Republic is in the spotlight by frustrating passengers who were deprived of traveling. It happened that there were no planes for the internal trip. The passengers were later transported to Garua only for the pilot to say he would not take off. The stranded passengers were left on their own after acquiring flight tickets. They failed all the appointments they had in the colonial capital, Yaoundé. How can a country like La Republique, which is unable to handle her internal affairs, colonial handle Amazonia? Were they reimbursed by Camerco? We can't say for certain.
The Cameroon Airlines Corporation, trading as CamAirco, is an airline serving as a flag of the country, a role which was previously filled by the now defunct Cameroon Airlines. CamAirco has failed passengers at the Mara agency. The passengers, after paying for their flight tickets to the political capital Yaoundé, became stranded as no plane was there to transport them. It is only after spending hours at the Mara airport that an old 70-seater bus was sent by the airport authorities to transport the disgruntled travelers to Garua with the off-burden a plane there. Expectations were dashed when they arrived at the Garua airport, where the pilot, after giving them flimsy excuses, finally landed on the decision that he was not even traveling.
Well, no amount of plea nor the intervention of the superior staff could persuade him to transport the passengers. The passengers were left with no choice but to devise other means to get to their destination or return back to Marwa. The airline has never made a profit and is struggling under the most of its aircraft are currently grounded. The company's slogan in French is supposed to mean the star of Cameroon. I don't think that's what star means actually.
Moving on, news reaching ABC Amber TV has confirmed that a neighboring Nigerian group fighting for the liberation of another country by name Dragon Fighter Marine exploded 2 bombs on Friday, October 6, killing 6 annexationist La République du Cameroun gendarmes at the entrance of the colonial occupier gendarmes encroachment base at Isangeli local government area in Ambazonia, Bakassi Peninsula. Well, according to sources close to journalists in Cross River State, capital of Calabar, in neighboring Nigeria, 4 of the gendarmes were also forced to surrender and were disarmed in Isangele local government area, Bakassi Peninsula. Now, Isangele local government area of Ambazonian's Bakassi Peninsula is ceded or is a ceded part formerly under Nigeria, but now controlled by the encroaching La République du Cameroun annexationist forces. The forces said that the Dragon Fighters Marine drove with motorbikes and dropped 2 explosives while passing the entrance of the colonial La République du Cameroun gendarmes, killing 6 gendarmes while 4 others were forced to surrender at gunpoint.
Well, the sources added that the militants, however, escaped unhurt before reinforcement from the colonial La République's rapid BIR could arrive at the scene. A few days ago, the Biafra Nations League, BNL, a group agitating for the independence of Biafra through its operational coordinator, Henry Edet, asked the La République du Cameroun to vacate Bakassi Peninsula and equally banned international business activities in the Gulf of Guinea, threatening to block the Sea in Indian County unless foreigners include oil companies reach an agreement with the Biafran separatists. Edet, who has since been declared wanted by the colonial La République BIR, asked Nigerian and French Cameroon forces to leave Bakassi, noting that it would not tolerate the presence of foreign armed forces in the territory. Commenting on the attack, the leader of the BNL, Prince Will Richards, told journalists that it serves them, that is the BIR, right. He says, Richards added that we have told them that our people will rise against them for failing to heed our instruction to leave our territory. On whether the militant group is planning more attacks in the Bakassi Peninsula, he said yes from the gallant men over there. They are the owners of the land. It would be recalled that on September 22nd, a suspected Biafran militant suicide bomber was said to have walked to a checkpoint in Abana and exploded a bomb that killed 7 colonial La République annexationists, gendarmes. Well, for more than 3 weeks now, there have been repeated attacks that have caused panic in the area before this recent development. Well, on the African scene, we'll look at North Africa. North African states have seen an uptick in the number of migrants arriving and risking the perilous Mediterranean crossing to southern Europe since a military coup in Niger severed cooperation between the West African nation and the EU. Migration emanating from the Sahel, a belt of nations stretching from Mali in the west to Sudan in the east, has had major repercussions for Arab countries, including Libya and Algeria, where gangs of smugglers are exploiting the crisis in these regions.
East Africa, Kenya paid 17 million for Somali security mission. Kenya has received 2.5 million, that's $17 million in the past 5 years for its contribution to the Somali peacekeeping mission, now known as the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, whose mandate is set to end in December next year. Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Douali told Parliament this week that the money was sent to the National Treasury in tranches of $3.3 million annually.
Well, worthy to note, in October 2011, Kenya Defense Forces moved into Somalia to pursue al-Shabaab following a series of kidnappings along the Kenya-Somalia border. And in South Africa, the 2023 CIGRE Southern African Regional Conference will be held from 24th to 27th October 2023, this month, at the CSIR International Convention Center in Pretoria. The conference is the biennial discussion forum organized by the CIGRE Southern Africa Committee for members, associates, and experts from Africa and developing economies.
The conference theme, Power System Technologies for Sustainable Growth in Africa, with focus on the following subjects: ensuring grid resilience and infrastructure readiness in the South African region, resulting from effects of global climate change and decarbonization, managing power system in a pandemic or global event, new innovations or improvements to existing power systems, equipment systems control and automation, telecommunications, impact of digital transformation on Southern African power system, which talks about cybersecurity, digital twins, Internet of Things, ensuring energy security, considering entire value chain, that is generation, conventional renewable storage, transmission, distribution, including microgrids and distributed energy resources, ensuring social and environmental sustainability of the rapidly evolving power system.
Well, for tonight on the African scene, our main focus will be on Gabon. In West Africa, Gabon's coup leader Nguema appoints new parliament, military, and police chiefs joined forces on August 30th to carry out a bloodless coup widely backed by politicians, civil societies, and the public in general after more than years of 55 years of rule by the Bongo family. The new regime has pledged to hold free elections and hand power back to civilians at a date due to be agreed at a national dialogue.
The military said it hopes elections will take place between April and June 2024. In the name of the transitional head of state, a regime spokesman read out on national television the 98 names of new parliament members, including opposition party figures and some who supported ousted President Ali Bongo Ondimba.
Well, the military had already set up a civilian government transition period led by Raymond Ndong as prime minister, who had previously served as prime minister before becoming a leading opposition politician under Bongo. The government has to work with a national transition council made up of army officers who have the same portfolios as the ministers. Under Bongo, the parliament had legislative powers but were reduced to rubber stamping the ruling party's policies.
Ali Bongo, who took over when his father Omar died in 2009 after nearly 42 years in power, was moments after declared the winner in the disputed August elections, Bongo abruptly overthrown. Many saw it as an action of liberation from the Bongo dynasty and has left a small fraction of the 2.3 million population of the oil-rich nation living opulently, while a third survives below the poverty line. Now news across the globe. Israelis rush back from U.S. Washington. Question of war has gone to Israel now. Israelis were rushing to find a way from the U.S. back home to join the fight and against Hamas, despite airlines canceling their scheduled flights.
So Biden promised to restore U.S. tested by fresh outbreak of war abroad. With the outbreak of war in Israel, President Joe Biden is contending with conflict in two parts of the world at a moment of paralysis in Washington and increasing polarization over the direction of America's involvement abroad. The moment is exactly the type of global crisis Biden pledged to voters he was uniquely prepared to confront, particularly when compared with his predecessor. Spending almost 50 years in proximity to the American foreign policy establishment gives Biden a perspective shared by few, if any, in Washington.
Well, the U.S. is sending aircraft carrier destroyer munitions to help protect the Israeli people. The U.S. is sending Navy and military aircraft to the Eastern Mediterranean in a show of support for Israel shortly after U.S. President told Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that help is already on its way.
Well, the U.S. is still gnashing over China's development of a domestic semiconductor industry is drowning out an overlooked threat to trade, one which has far bigger implications for American jobs and could undermine national and economic security. A statement from China Eastern Airlines last week points to an overwhelming trend in the world's second largest economy.
While still on the Israelis' war, hundreds of Israelis seek refuge in Cyprus. Now, in addition to the Cypriots in Israel, many of whom are expected to arrive within the day, hundreds of Israelis are seeking refuge in Cyprus. Gab Ellison will tell us more.
According to passengers who arrived at Lanarkri Airport on Sunday morning, the situation is dire in Israel and many are looking for flights to reach Cyprus. First time we're leaving our country and we are not happy. Yesterday, we arranged to leave Tel Aviv and we chose Cyprus. We didn't do it for ourselves but for our two children. Our parents stayed behind. We are very worried, said a mother of two minor children from Israel. Another mother of three minor children said they arrived in Cyprus to be safe, noting that many of their friends are looking for a flight to come to Cyprus. It's a very difficult situation, and that's why we ran with our children to leave. They have kidnapped children, but we don't know how many more. We took a flight from Israel to Athens, and from there we came to Cyprus. We tried to find direct flights, but they are all full to Cyprus. We are staying in a hotel in Limassol. We don't know for how long we'll stay. We'll stay as long as we need to. A lot of our friends will come and stay in Paphos. It is noted that within the day, according to the Foreign Ministry, Cypriot pilgrims who were in Jerusalem are expected to arrive.
Well, coming up next is sports, and Gab Ellison has all the details.
Latest world sports. Football. Former FIFA president says hosting the 2030 World Cup across 6 countries absurd. Disgraced former FIFA president Sepp Blatter has slammed the plan to hold the 2030 World Cup across 6 countries as absurd. This week, the global footballing body confirmed that they intend to hold the World Cup in just under 7 years' time across 3 different continents to mark the centenary of the first edition of the tournament. But Blatter, who was in charge of FIFA from 1998 until 2015, criticized the move by current FIFA president Gianni Infantino. The 87-year-old administrator told Swiss newspaper Sonntagsblick it is absurd to tear the tournament apart in this way. The World Cup finals must be a compact event. In 1930, the first World Cup was hosted and subsequently won by Uruguay, and whilst the country has been selected to host one of the opening trio of matches, Blatter believes the continent should be hosting all the matches. For historical reasons, the 2030 World Cup should have belonged exclusively in South America, Blatter said. In recent years, Blatter has been in the headlines for the wrong reasons for his involvement in one of football's most infamous corruption scandals during his time as FIFA president. In 2015, Blatter and former UEFA chief Michel Platini were both banned from football for 8 years over claims the former had unlawfully paid a Frenchman £1.7 million back in 2011. The bans were later reduced, and last year the pair were cleared of corruption charges by a federal criminal court in Switzerland. Blatter had claimed the payment followed a gentleman's agreement from when Platini was a technical advisor in 1998. Since leaving FIFA, Blatter has spoken out about proposed changes to the World Cup, including decision to expand it to 48 countries 2026 World onwards. Alongside Uruguay, Argentina, Paraguay will host the opening games of the 2030 World Cup before the action switches to Morocco, Spain, and Portugal. All 6 host countries will qualify automatically for the 18 tournament, with South America's allocation of automatic qualifiers set to be cut down. Spain, Portugal, and Morocco were the favorites to host in 2030 since announcing their joint bid earlier this year. But Uruguay and Argentina wanted to mark the centenary of the first World Cup final between the two nations 93 years ago. In an unprecedented move, FIFA have explained the bidding process for the 2030 and 2034 World Cups with a question and answer session. Mail Sports' Nick Harris previously reported that it was a done deal that the 2034 World Cup would be heading to Saudi Arabia, as FIFA confirmed it would have to be held in either Asia or Oceania. American football. NFL Week. NFL Week 5 review and results. 49ers dominate Dallas and Eagles beat Rams as both sides stay unbeaten. The San Francisco 49ers enjoyed an emphatic 42-10 victory over old enemies, the Dallas Cowboys, to join the Philadelphia Eagles as the only 5-0 sides in the NFL. The Niners enjoyed their biggest win of their storied rivalry with Dallas, while the Eagles powered to a tough win at the Los Angeles Rams. Miami's high-flying attack broke another record, and the New England Patriots suffered another embarrassing loss. The pair of 5-time Super Bowl winners have had an epic rivalry down the years, fighting in playoff games, 2 of which San Francisco have won in the last 2 years. But this one was one-way traffic from the start. Quarterback Brock Purdy moved to 10-0 as a starter with 4 touchdown passes in another clinical showing, and Christian McCaffrey scored for the 14th-game running to continue what is now the 4th longest streak in NFL history. And while the Niners unloaded on what was the league's toughest defense coming in, Dak Prescott was bemused and befuddled by San Francisco's unit as he threw 3 interceptions and was sacked 3 times. So while it is back to the drawing board for the Cowboys, the 49ers sent a huge warning to the rest of the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles has not been as flashy as the 49ers, but they are also 5-0 for the 2nd year running after another solid defense effort and a powerful run game in their 23-14 win at the Los Angeles Rams. The Eagles came thanks to their all-powerful offensive line, which was unstoppable again when they performed what has become known as the brotherly shove or tush push, similar to a rolling maul in rugby union, when the entire team helped to push Jalen Hurts into the end zone from close range. Philly looked determined to get back to the Super Bowl after last season's loss to Kansas City Chiefs, who are taking control of the AFC again after edging the Minnesota Vikings 27-20 to improve to 4-1. The win gave Patrick Mahomes the full set, as he has now beaten all 31 other teams in the NFL and is the first quarterback to do it under the age of 30. With just a 1-point defeat against them and plenty of room for improvement, the defending Super Bowl champions look a scary prospect, with the only worry being an ankle injury Travis Kelce picked up just before scoring what turned out to be the winning touchdown. F1. FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem wants more teams and fewer races. Formula One should have more teams and fewer races, according to FIA President. The Emiratis' comments come in the context of the US-based Andretti organization's bid to enter F1, as well as an expanding global schedule of Grand Prix, which is set to reach a record 24 next season. Commercial rights holder F1 will have the final call over whether to admit Andretti and Ben Sulayem appear to warn against any defiance of the FIA's approval. Saying no to a team which has been approved by the FIA is very hard, Ben Sulayem told Reuters. Last week, the motorsport governing body gave its approval for Andretti's bid to enter F1, which is a joint venture with US car giant General Motors' Cadillac brand. The FIA rejected 3 other potential candidates, including New Zealand's Rodin Cars, saying they did not fulfill all the necessary criteria. The bid process has moved on to commercial discussions with F1, owned by US company Liberty Media. Its bosses have sounded lukewarm in public about the prospect of an 11th team and are widely believed in private to be opposed to the idea. Ben Sulayem pointed out that F1's rules allow for up to 12 teams, and that sport would benefit from new car manufacturers, otherwise known as original equipment manufacturers, OEMs. The FIA should be begging OEMs to come in. We should not just say no to them, he said. If you say, what is my dream? It is to fill up the 12 and to have one US team from an OEM and a power unit and a driver from there, and then go to China maybe and ask for the same thing and do it. The current 10 F1 teams who do not have a formal say in the admission of any entrant are unilaterally opposed to the idea on financial grounds because it will reduce their share of the sports prize fund. Any new entrant is required to pay a $200 million, that is £164 million anti-dilution fee to current teams in order to compensate for the loss in prize money. But teams say this is insufficient following F1's increased success in recent years and should instead cost new competitors close to $1 billion, that is £820 million. They point out that some teams are still struggling financially despite the introduction of a budget cap 2 years ago, and that it is only 5 years half the grid was in danger of collapse. The smaller teams have recently negotiated a bigger allowance in sliding committed spending on infrastructure to allow them the chance to build up facilities to rival those of the top teams. Gab Ellison reporting from Undaunted, ABC Amber News.
All right, thank you so much, Gab Ellison, for that sports report. And with that report, we've come to the end of Undaunted tonight. But before we go, let's take a look at our major stories.
On Undaunted tonight, we brought to you Amazonia holding tight to civil disobedience or civil obedience, depending on who. We brought to you Amnesty International condemning the acts of ADF/BIR in the Guzan killing of 2. We also brought to you on Undaunted tonight family who goes through pain in the transportation of a corpse through the hanging bridge of ropes because La Republic has deprived Amazonia of any form of infrastructure.
On Undaunted, we told you that Echo disappointed passengers at the port due to lack of planes. Gave you the reports of hundreds of Israeli refugees in Cyprus. And that would like to bringing in news of stories on behalf of StarSmart and the entire Undaunted crew. We say thank you for tuning in.
We'll leave you with ABC Amber TV Images. Good night and bless you.